Have you ever just looked up at the stars at night and wondered, where did all this come from? I mean, really thought about it. Well, today we're doing exactly that. We're winding the cosmic clock all the way back to the start, to the single moment that created, well, everything. Let's dive in.
Yeah, it's pretty much the biggest question there is, right? How did everything, the stars, the planets, you, me, how did it all come to be? The answer that science has for us, well, it all points to one single event. An event on a scale that's kind of hard to wrap your head around. So, to get to the bottom of our cosmic origins, we've got to start with the main theory on the table. This is the big one. It's an idea that suggests our entire, unbelievably huge universe started from a single, tiny point. And that theory, you've probably heard of it, is the Big Bang Theory. Now, the core idea here is that everything we see today, all the matter, all the energy, it was all crammed into one single point that was incredibly hot and unbelievably dense. I mean, try to picture this. The entire observable universe squeezed into a space smaller than an atom. Just wow. And from that one point, it all started to expand.
And just to be clear, this didn't happen last week. We are talking about a timescale that is, honestly, it's almost impossible for our brains to really grasp. This cosmic starting gun went off about 13.8 billion years ago, with a B.
You know, a really good way to picture this whole thing is to think about a balloon. Imagine you've got a little uninflated balloon and you draw a bunch of dots on it. As you blow it up, what happens? All the dots move away from each other, right? Well, those dots are like galaxies. And here's the really wild part. The galaxies aren't just flying through space. No, space itself is stretching, it's expanding, and it's carrying the galaxies along for the ride.
It's a pretty mind-blowing theory, isn't it? But how do we actually know? How can we be so sure about something that happened so long ago? Well, like any good detective story, the universe left clues behind. It left evidence. So let's put on our detective hats and check it out. All right, so the first big piece of the puzzle dropped back in the 1920s. Astronomers were looking out at distant galaxies and they saw something weird. The light coming from them was stretched out. It looked redder than it should. That's something called redshift, and it basically meant everything was speeding away from us. Then, fast forward to 1964, two scientists totally by accident find the smoking gun. They detect this faint hum, this glow of microwaves coming from everywhere in the sky, all at once. They thought it was a problem with their equipment, but nope, it was the echo of creation. And that glow, we now call it the cosmic microwave background. It is literally the afterglow of the Big Bang. It's the leftover heat from creation itself. I love this analogy. You can think of it as the universe's baby picture. It's like a fossil from the moment it was born. Okay, so we've got a starting point, the Big Bang, and we have solid evidence, but that still leaves a big question. How did we get from that super hot, super dense point to this? To the galaxies and stars we see today? Well, it wasn't instant. It was a long process of cosmic evolution. It really happened in a few key steps. So first, you have that initial massive expansion. As the universe got bigger, it also started to cool down. Then, over millions and billions of years, good old gravity started doing its thing. It quietly and patiently started pulling tiny little bits of matter together. These clumps got bigger and bigger, until they got so dense and hot that they lit up and became stars. And those stars, they clustered together to form the massive island universes we call galaxies. And this is the part that just gets me every time, because it brings it all right back home. Think about it. The very atoms that make up your body, the ground you're standing on, the sun and the sky, every single bit of it was forged in the wake of that one singular event, all those billions of years ago. It's not just poetry, we are quite literally made of stardust. We're a direct result of the Big Bang. But you know what? The story is far from over. This whole quest to understand where we came from, it's still going on. The Big Bang gives us an amazing framework, but it also cracks open a whole new set of even deeper mysteries that scientists are trying to solve right now. And the cosmic detectives working today have some seriously cool tools in their toolkit. We're talking about incredibly powerful telescopes that can practically look back in time, giant particle accelerators that can smash atoms together to try and recreate the first few seconds of the universe, and super complex computer models to test all the wildest new ideas. So we've managed to trace our story all the way back to the very beginning. But the universe, oh, it is still packed with mysteries. Like, what was there before the Big Bang? And what is all this invisible stuff we call dark matter and dark energy? The investigation is still wide open, and who knows? The very next discovery could change everything all over again,